Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another one. And in this one, I'm going to talk about something that has, recently gotten a new term, quiet quitting. I'm also going to talk about, going above and beyond at work, when you should, when you shouldn't, the types of ways you should, maybe the ways you shouldn't. So anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So, basically, of course, quiet quitting is more or less the idea that you basically just do your job and nothing else that you're paid for, right? Um, I don't really see how that's a huge problem, because honestly, you're getting paid to do a function, and if you're doing the function that you're getting paid to do in an effective way, that uh, lets the process flow, doesn't impact anyone else in a negative way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I don't really see how that's a big problem. It's just my opinion. So I'm going to talk about something I'm currently doing in my current job, which is most definitely going above and beyond. I'm going to tell you why I did it, but I'm going to tell you generally how I just approach my work. Right. So basically, for the most part, the way I approach my work generally is I try to be as competent and as efficient as I can be at the job. Why? Couple of reasons. And they're all mostly self beneficial, right? Basically, it just makes my life easier. If I have a, you know, well executed, well thought out process of, taking care of whatever issues there are, documenting things, working on systems, all of that, I'm much less likely to encounter major problems or, problems that I can't solve or whatever. As long as you approach things in procedural way, you document yada yada yada, you're usually pretty good, right? So that's why I do that, just and to be efficient. Obviously I don't want tasks to take any longer than they have to, so I find the best most efficient way to do it, and I will pass that knowledge on to my coworkers, of course, as well, because well, the more efficient you are, let's face it, the more downtime you can have, which is great. So I always approach my work in a very professional manner, no matter what, just because, like I said, it benefits me directly. Yes, it benefits the company also, but it most very directly benefits me as well, just day to day, materially in the job. So, things that are quote above and beyond. Why? What am I currently doing, and why am I doing it? Well, the one that I'm currently doing in my current job is probably the biggest project I've ever originated myself to impact the company really in any way. So basically, what this involves is the company basically changing out the company's phone system. Now, the company I work for, I don't know, it's a fairly rapidly growing company. When I started working there in May of last year, I think they had 600 and some odd employees. They're up to over 800 now and well on their way to 1,000. So it's a pretty rapidly growing enterprise. So, basically the idea is to change out their phone system, right? So, because the phone system that currently using is with a vendor that's, just really, really, really terrible. They do a really bad job supporting us. It's a cumbersome product. It's basically mostly locked to, physical phones. And obviously, we like to move away from physical phones if possible at this juncture. So basically, I just thought of this on my own because when I got at the company I'm at currently, basically right when I got there, they just put me in charge of phones. Yeah, lucky me, whoop de doo, dream come true, right? So it just occurred to me, fairly recently after the IT staff expanded and we had some actual downtime, I could sit and I could think about these things. So I thought to myself, well, a new phone system would be great. So essentially, what I did is I drafted a list of the requirements for a phone system we would have. I reached out to several vendors. I picked some vendors, went over it with the team. picked the one that we thought would be the best, and we're doing a proof of concept for it right now, right? So anyway, so let's talk about why I did that. I did that primarily to, again, make my life easier at work, because the phone system where I work is just bad. It's inefficient. It's a drain. It causes lots and lots of problems for us. Just nothing really all that positive to say about it. So it's a huge quality of life improvement if we can adopt something better. And another reason I did it for myself is, honestly, going above and beyond in this way is a no-lose scenario for me, no matter what happens. Even in the worst case scenario, which may or may not happen, because when I recently had a discussion with my boss, he told me maybe not to expect, because he basically asked, I think we got on the subject of, what I feel would be fair for something of this magnitude. And I vocalized that I think something, at least, $3 to $5 an hour more would be, adequate for doing something along those lines. And basically he told me to tamper my expectations, blah, blah, blah. Kind of a worst case scenario for that. But you know what? I figured even if the worst case does happen and I don't get recognized all that much at my current company, that's okay. Because worst case scenario, let's assume that, it doesn't really give me a giant shot in the arm right there at my current company. If that's the case, that's okay. You know why? Because I can very easily put that onto my resume, and, if I have to, I can go somewhere else where that sort of thing would be appreciated. Because basically, finding this new phone system, and then of course I would have to be the one to implement the new phone system. I would be in charge of the project. In fact, I've been in charge of all the testing so far that we're doing internally. It's all been me, so I know if we go live with the project, it'll all be me, which is fine. It's fine. I, am a seasoned IT professional, so for me, it's not really a big deal. But yeah. So basically, the long and short of it is, and I know I went on quite a bit and went a few directions, I apologize. Going above and beyond at work is completely okay as long as it benefits you in some way, shape, or form. Don't go above and beyond just to go above and beyond. Always be thinking about, how does this help me out, or, just honestly helping your team is good too. If you have good team members, helping them out. But mostly you just got to think to yourself, how does this benefit me? How does this maybe benefit my team? And that's really it. Going just like thinking the other way, it's like, whatever, it's going to benefit the company too, obviously. That really should not be your primary driver, in my opinion. That should definitely be secondary or even third. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys like this. And of course, all of this applies only if you work for somebody else, right? So live long and prosper, keep on rocking, and I will see you guys next time.